All right. Oops, what did I do? There we go. That's not what I wanted to do. We're set. All right, give me a second. Here. It's not, I mean, why are you sad about that? It's, it's just snow. Snow never hurt anyone. All right, let me let some people get in here and then we'll get into the updates. Well, I shouldn't say snow never hurt anyone. That's not true. That's not true. It's going to be all right. Yeah. Yeah. I think March is going to be cold again, unfortunately. The Climate Prediction Center seems to think over the next 3 to 4 weeks. Why can't I can't speak. The next 3 to 4 weeks is going to be, we're going to see a big warm up across the country, including the Northeast, including New England. I just don't see it happening in the analog. So they've consistently stated that they've consistently month after month expected it to be warmer than it actually ended up being. And unfortunately, I think that's going to be the case for March. But hey, we're on the back end of winter, so not too bad. You know? Why doesn't my chat thing work? 1 second, guys. Why doesn't this work? Weird. Okay, we'll get started here in a second. Give me 1 second, and we're gonna get going. We're gonna get talking about the latest updates. Give me 1 second. All right. There's our storm. Now, it's not going to move that fast. Ow, my knees hurt. Oh my God, I'm getting old. It's not going to move that fast. You know? But it'll move pretty quick. Let's check on a few things before we get started. Make sure we're all good. You guys can hear me. The sound is good, right? We're all good. Okay, here we go. Okay. So, first things first. We have updated expected snowfall totals from the National Weather Service. And we may have updated totals. Let me actually double check that before we get started. Let's see. So, like I said, anyone who was in my stream yesterday when the National Weather Service had expected snowfall for Philadelphia 4 inches, I said, what did I say in my stream yesterday? There's a 0% chance that's the expected snowfall totals. Well, I woke up this morning and now the expected snowfall totals in Philadelphia is almost 13 inches. Much closer to where I expected it to be. But again, I think the National Weather Service just had a delayed update. They just had a delayed update. Now this is where I expect it to be. I told you guys, I'll tell you when I disagree with the National Weather Service. I'm not just always going to hop on board the National Weather Service. I have my own opinions. Okay? I have my own opinions. Free will. Free will to disagree with whoever I want to disagree with. But now I actually agree with the National Weather Service. Besides one thing, we have a lot of cold air aloft out over here. And I think we may see a little bit more snow out here than they're expecting. Maybe not in that circled area. Specifically in here, lots of cold air aloft. I don't care that the surface is maybe slightly above freezing. $5 super chat from Jill. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. I wasn't even going to get on a stream. Well, I am later. I was later, but I have a little bit of time right now. This is going to be a quick stream. 30 minutes to an hour, somewhere in there. 45 minutes, we'll call it. Your coach, Teeny, I appreciate you. Jill, I appreciate you. Let me know if you have a question. $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. New York. Okay, let's go over the new snow totals. People want to know, and I'll let you know what I think. Expected snow totals. Okay, New York City, and I'm not kidding. Almost 16 inches of snow. This isn't your high end. If you get lucky, you get this. This is what the National Weather Service expects you to receive. 16 inches of snow into New York City. Most you've gotten in over 5 years. $2 super chat from, I think, right? $2 super chat from Johnny. I really appreciate that. How much for Northeastern PA? Okay. Northeastern PA. Getting up here towards Scranton, you're looking at 6 inches expected. But if we're really talking about here, let me actually, I'll look that up really quickly. How do I spell that? Oh, E-R-N-E. Okay, let me actually see exactly where that is. Okay, so you're just to the southwest of Scranton. You're just to the southwest of Scranton. By the way, blizzard warnings. Blizzard warnings. We do have blizzard warnings. New York City, you are in a blizzard warning. Wonder when your last blizzard warning was, actually. You're in a blizzard warning. And I'll get to that question in 1 second. So, yeah, 13 to 18 inches of snow, 55-plus mile-per-hour winds, tropical storm to hurricane force winds. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one for you guys. So, here we go. I'm not going to call the person out. There's some people who post ridiculous snow maps. They only post the high ends on Twitter. They only post the expected. People were posting yesterday the expected snowfall totals from the National Weather Service, and I was like, what are you doing? The ones that said like 4 inches in the Philly and like 8 inches in New York City, and I'm just sitting there like, what are you doing? You know that should not be the expect. You know the expect is going to be higher than that. But I'd rather people post. I'd rather people not fearmonger with heavy snow. So I'd rather you post lower totals so you don't get people too excited for them to be disappointed. So I will say I'd rather them do that. But also I'm like, come on. People need to also be ready. If you're going to get a foot of snow, don't tell people they're going to get 2 inches, because they're also going to be a little PO'd if you mislead them in that way. Jack, December, I appreciate you. So yeah, up here, we're talking about 5 inches expected, but again, high end, up here, 10 inches maybe. Up near Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Hazleton area. So yeah, here's the latest. Let me quickly, and Jill, do you have a question? How much for North New Jersey and the timing? I got you. Sorry about that. How much for North New Jersey and the timing? Yeah, North New Jersey, you can see this whole area up here. We're expecting anywhere between 10 to, we'll call it 15 inches of snow. The timing, I actually went over it today in my video. I'll really quickly go over this timing again with you guys. And then I'm gonna try to answer everyone's questions on snow totals, what I think, if I think anything differently than the National Weather Service here. But and sometimes it's not that I think differently than the National Weather Service. It's I know that the National Weather Service is about to release a really important update. Oh my God, this isn't gonna let me go to the 00Z. Are you kidding me? Okay, we'll do it. That's fine. We'll do it over here. It's that the National Weather Service, their updates are lagging, and I can tell you what they're probably going to change to. Expected wise. All right, let's do quick timing here. Northern New Jersey. Here we go. This is going to be, you start to get a little bit of rain and mixing as we get into Sunday morning. We'll call it 7 a.m. No, we're not going to call it that. Yeah, we are. We're going to call it 7 a.m. Then you maybe get a little bit of transition into heavy snow in and around 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. Santino, 2 feet in central New Jersey. Santino, I really appreciate that $2 super chat. 2 feet into central New Jersey. Yeah, it's a possibility, which is crazy. Yeah, around 12 o'clock, northern New Jersey, there you go. Heavy snow. And then you're snowing. You're probably snowing pretty heavy snow. Almost, heavy to moderate snow all the way through Monday morning, maybe till 8 or 9 a.m. Could be longer. But you could be snowing all the way till 2 p.m. Monday morning or Monday afternoon, but it's going to be lighter. This time frame for Long Island is going to be insane. You're going to be basically in the eye of the nor'easter. This is going to be like a 965, 970 millibar low potentially. Okay, that's why some people call it snowicane. Snowicane isn't a real term, but it's because it has an eye. Now, tropical systems have much more heat release and are much more powerful than a bombing low in the mid latitudes. So they're not the same, but they're what's that one movie? Same but different. Can anyone tell me what movie that is? Same but different. I know someone knows that movie. Please don't disappoint me. I know someone knows it. The Interview. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Marcus. The Interview. Same, but different, okay? They have a lot of similarities. They are both bomb cyclones, hurricanes, and this. But some with some minor differences. This is kind of, you could compare it to the eye wall of a hurricane, though. And this is going to be where we're going to have potentially hurricane force gusts. Ridiculous. Long Island, watch out, especially if you're in central and eastern Long Island. Watch out, okay? This thing is going to be something. Do we have the latest? We're about to get the latest Euro. Did anyone look at the latest GFS? I'll quickly answer some people's questions on snow totals, and then let's take a look at the latest models, because we're getting models, 12Z models that are coming out right now, which is extremely important. How much for DC? DC, your expected right now is around 3.5 inches. Your high end is 15 inches. And I don't expect you to hit 15 inches. But I don't expect you to only see 3 inches either. I'd probably put your expected at around 6 to 8 inches. Now, I've done really well this winter, but I've also made some bad calls. It's impossible. No one's right all the time, okay? I'm leaning with some sort of confidence here. 70-30 confidence, 70% chance I think I'm right. 70% chance I think it's going to happen. We're going to push over 6 inches into DC, even though the National Weather Service thinks 3 inches. Why? Lots of cold air aloft. I think that cold air aloft chokes out that surface air and allows accumulation quicker than expected or overrides it. So could that eye shift more west? Well, it just did. If you watched my video this morning, take a look at the last 2 runs of the HRRR. Check this out. The eye did shift. And that's what was this was a huge development. This was a huge development. Okay, HRRR. Oh, God, it's not going to let me go all the way back. The HRRR did shift 20 to 30 miles west. If you guys, you don't need to go watch my video right now. The HRRR did shift 20 to 30 miles west. The HRRR, just so you are all aware, with the 06Z run this morning when I woke up, had 8 inches into Philly. The 12Z run shifted 20 miles west, maybe 30, I think 20 miles west, 16 inches into Philly. A 20 to 30 mile shift west of the HRRR, which just happened a couple hours ago, doubled the expected snowfall in Philadelphia. Because when you have a bomb cyclone nor'easter, this snow right here, let's draw it like this, right? This snow right in here, this is 1 to 2 inch an hour snow, but you get right out here and it drops off a cliff. This is good snow, light to moderate snow, but this was shifted like this before the latest update. It shifted it over a little bit. Suddenly, huge snow. So will that continue? We'll see. We have a lot of models that are coming out. Let me continue to answer some questions on snow totals. People have a lot of questions on snow totals. Let me move my face. Woo! All right, let me put it over here. I need to stop messing around. I'm a child. Pittsburgh. You're expected to get an inch of snow over the next 72 hours. 5 inches on the high end if you get a little bit of a good snow ratio out there. You'll be much colder, so I believe. Don, I appreciate the sub. Why is that thing up there? Let's move that we'll move it back up here or something. Yeah, Philadelphia high end now. Let's take a look. 2 feet. I'm lying. It's not 2 feet. It's 23 inches. It's 1 foot and 11 inches. 2 feet. That's your high end. I don't think you'll hit your high end. I do think you could surpass your expected of a foot, though. But I understand why they're putting 2 feet as the high end. This thing is shifted west. It's bombing out. You know what? I haven't even looked at what the latest HRRR puts this low pressure down to. That's important. Let's take a look. Actually, let me turn this down a tiny bit. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. Oh my gosh. Look at that. 972. 972 millibar right off the coast. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. The HRRR. Holy smokes. GFS. Is the new GFS still going crazy, everyone? Oh, that looks like it shifted west. I mean, not significantly. Not in a way that would... Oh my god, 967 millibar. That does look actually like a western shift. Let's take a look. All right, so here's the new GFS. No, that's the old one. New one. Minor shift west from the GFS, but you know what? This thing has not shifted west, I feel like, in 4 days. So it was overdue. Nothing major, but a little bit of shift... Or sorry, a little bit of shift east. I keep saying west. A little bit of a shift east from the GFS. I'm guessing it's still dumping ridiculous totals out here. We can take a look at that. Is this our 12Z? It is. Let's take a look at the snow totals difference on the GFS with that shift. There's your old snow totals, new one. Old, new, old, new. Same exact snow total expected in Philly, almost the same exact in New York City, almost the same exact in Boston. Hasn't affected any of those areas. Where has it affected? DC to Baltimore. Northern Virginia. That's the one area this shift affected, this area. But it's the GFS. I don't really look at globals. No one looks at globals, especially the GFS in this time frame. So I wouldn't be overly concerned if you're like worried about getting less snow than expected. The GFS still puts a ton of snow, 7 inches into DC, almost 11 inches into Baltimore. So you really can't complain if the GFS is correct. We shouldn't be using the GFS in this time frame. Interesting to see that shift, though. The latest Euro is beginning to come out. Has the latest Euro AI began to load? Not yet. The latest, well, what was the 12Z Canadian doing? There's the 12Z Canadian. Let's compare this to the last run as well. Yep, 12Z Canadian actually shifted west. So you got the GFS shifting east and the Canadian shifted west, which is actually being nicer to Maryland. So they're doing the opposite thing there. Shocker. No one's actually surprised. Euro AI, GraphCast. This is important as well. GraphCast. What's happening with our GraphCast here? Are we seeing more snow now or less snow now on the GraphCast? All right, let's see. Old run, new run, old run, new run. Not probably minorly less. Yeah, a little bit of a southeasterly shift at this rate. It's not going to be major. You can see the little wobble here. Not really going to affect... It's nothing major here, favoring kind of the GFS pattern. And then really quickly, the Rufus, I think, actually had a somewhat significant shift east. Now, we're not really looking at the Rufus. Rufus isn't a great snow model, but I want to see the trends here. Let's take a look at the 12Z Rufus. What is the Rufus doing? Oh, no, the Rufus shifted. What? Did the Rufus really shift west? Oh, no, the Rufus shifted far west. I lied. The Rufus is putting a ton more snow into the coast. All right, so the Rufus is doing good things for everyone. Oh, my gosh. That's a big shift west on the Rufus. Holy smokes. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at that. This was the last run. That's the new run. And this is our short range. So, again, not a great snow model, but the Rufus is being super aggressive now. That's impressive. All right, I wanted to see some of the latest updates, but the Euro's coming out soon. The Euro's the only model I'll use sometimes in the short range, just because, you know, it does good things. Tends to do some good things. All right, let's get back over here. And I want to... Malvern, PA, I don't know where that is. Listen, if you're going to tell me small city or small county that I've never heard of, I got to skip over it because I want to answer as many questions as possible. But if you're like 20 miles to the west of Philly, say 20 miles west of Philly. If you're 30 miles north of Harrisburg, say 30 miles north of Harrisburg. If you're in southeastern PA, say southeastern PA. If you're in south central, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't think I'll know the city or the county, just try to help me out here so I can answer your question quickly. I want to answer as many questions as possible. I appreciate the sub. Appreciate the sub. How much for Central Jersey? Yeah, I mean, right now, Central Jersey, it depends where you are. I mean, if you're near the coast, you could see out here. This is the expected. This is insane. I mean, 30 inches potentially on the high end for Central Jersey. 25 to 30 inches on the high end, closer to 15 to 20 expected. It's wild. Between DC and Baltimore, what do you think? See, that's a good way to describe that. Yeah, between DC and Baltimore, your expected is 4 inches, high end is 16 inches. I think you'll get 7+ there. I think you'll get 7+ there. So. MD plushies, I appreciate the sub. Appreciate the follows, guys, as well. DC has a huge boom bust. It does. I'm a little bit more concerned about DC than Baltimore. But it's because of their surface temperatures are a little bit warmer down here. 33, 34, while up in Philly and New Jersey, we're getting much quicker down to 31, 32, 31, 30. But there's still a ton of cold air aloft here, and I think it's going to overwhelm the surface temperatures, and I think it's going to, and the snow is going to be hitting the ground and melting immediately, but it's going to be hitting the ground fast, and it's not going to be hitting the ground as water. It's going to be hitting as snow. It's going to be freezing the ground quickly. I think we could be okay down here. I'd say once you get to DC and south, it's a boom or bust. Yes. But I think DC's safe. That is a tough call. It's a tough call. I think DC's safe right now, but I think it is a tough call. Annapolis, Maryland. I don't remember where. There it is. Okay. Annapolis, Maryland. 6 inches expected, 18 inches on the high end. Again, I think you could get a little bit more than that expected total there. Is it possible to have a blizzard conditions in Newark, New Jersey? I mean, yeah. I mean, New York City currently is under blizzard warning. So right across, I mean, here's Newark right here. You got blizzard warnings, 10 miles to your east. So yeah, it's possible. Yep. Especially if we get any more western shift, you could see these blizzard warnings shift west. I'm a little bit surprised we don't have a winter storm. I'm surprised we don't have winter storm warnings like at least like through here. I don't know why we don't have winter storm warnings through this region of Maryland, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. A little bit of severe weather potential down here, by the way, guys, today. So pay attention. Here. Severe weather chances today. You're going to get more storms firing up on the back end of this. So, as the day progresses. All right. 20 miles east of Philly. All right, so out there in we'll take it out here. This is all going to be kind of the same expected. So we'll look here. 14 inches expected. 2 feet is the high end for you. Am I worried about sleet and mixing if it keeps coming west? I don't think it has time to push far enough west where sleet and mixing gets too far inland or maybe inland at all. We're running out of time. You would need such a major shift west at this point. Looking at the latest HRRR, which at this range, once we get close to 12 hours, ends up doing really good. You get a little bit of sleet, maybe trying to get towards the coast. I'm not really over concerned with that, no. We can even look at sleet totals on here. Winter, freezing rain, sleet totals. There's none basically on shore. You get like a 1/5 of an inch maybe into Delaware, but nothing significant. Major shift west at the last second, I guess, but I'm not expecting that. All right. Levittown, PA. Yeah, I lived in Levittown. Shout out Levittown. There you are. I lived in Levittown. Actually, yeah, last year. Yeah, so we'll use Trenton for you since we have a little gauge here. But you guys are expected to get 14 inches of snow, and I'm mad because I think the 2 years I lived in Levittown, we got 14 inches combined. And you're about to get 14 inches with one storm. And this is going to put your season total at over 30 inches of snow easily, maybe much more. Pearly Car, Jasmine, Jordan. So that's cool. But yeah, your high end possibility in Levittown is like approaching 2 feet of snow, which would be pretty crazy. Will Baltimore get heavy snow? Baltimore's going to get a period of heavy snow, I think. Yes, 100% is going to get a period of heavy snow. The question is that how quickly will that heavy snow begin to accumulate? You're going to see a period of, yes, very, 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 in DC too, you're going to see a period of very heavy snow outside. There's just going to be a lag on the accumulation. So you're like guaranteed to see heavy snow in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. The question is, how long does it take the surface to cool down enough? Because you have very cold air aloft. You're going to have probably very large, mark my words, D.C. and Baltimore, a period of extremely large snowflakes. They're going to be like quarter size snowflakes falling. Maybe not quarter size, but they're going to be big snow. Maybe they're going to be big snowflakes. We need it to accumulate quickly. We need the ground to chill quickly when that starts to happen. Newport News. Aren't you guys down here? An inch expected. High end, 4 inches. $10 miles south of Philly. Yeah, I mean, that's not really going to... You'll get somewhere similar to what Philly's going to get. 14 inches expected, 2 feet high end. Yep. Can you show the HRRR snow totals? Sure. Your wish is my command. There you go. You want to get real close here? Should we get real close, chat? Where's New Jersey here? We're going to zoom in. It doesn't have New Jersey on here? Where's New Jersey? Hold up. I want to zoom in here. Oh my gosh. The HRRR won't zoom into New Jersey? That is so rude. Hold up. Oh my God, doesn't even have any... Wait, why? Does it have Delaware? What the heck? Here, we'll get in here. We'll get in here, okay? Here's the latest HRRR totals. Yeah, 21 inches. This is obviously a short range. Typically one of our better short range models, 3 kilometers. This is what you typically really want to start to stare at once we're 12 hours out. What are we, like 14 hours, 16 hours out from snow? 21 inches into Philly. Why isn't it showing? Is this Baltimore? Casual 10 inches into Baltimore. You get maybe, it's weird. It's like 5 to 9 into DC here on the latest HRRR. Yeah, we're seeing close to 30 to 35 inches in this little section in New Jersey here. I don't know. I'll move up the coast here a little bit in a second. Just insanity, like 2 feet out in New Jersey. It's high. 21 inches into New York City. You guys can see the HRRR is being very kind. Very kind to us out here, Lehigh Valley, Poconos. Now, let's get a little bit further out into the east, into Newark. New York. And, yeah, look at Long Island. HRRR is like, you get 2 feet. You get 2 feet. You get 2 feet. You get 2 feet. Connecticut, a foot to 2 feet. I mean, this is it. I'm just showing you it. It's pretty aggressive here, I'd say. I'd say it's pretty aggressive. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Casual Sunday? Casual Sunday, Monday? Is that what you're thinking? I think so. Yeah, the HRRR isn't loading through Cape Cod, but the National Weather Service is thinking, expecting about a foot of snow out there. Your high end's going to be something crazy. 22 feet, yeah. Yeah. So, the new Euro's loading, by the way. I'm sure someone was yelling at me in chat about it. Never mind. It's behind. It's running behind. No one should be shocked, but that's annoying. Yeah, here's the National Weather Service right now. Boom, there you go. Same thing we're looking at on the other screen, though. So let's get back over there, and let's continue. I want to answer your questions on snow totals and the fun stuff. Let's put the HRRR back into here. 1 second, guys and girls. Connor, do you think much snow total? Do you think? I'm guessing you meant to say like how much snow totals will change, is there going? Okay, this is Jaden. I think I'll say it was probably your phone because phones always mess with typing. Total change or are they going to be the same as... Okay, so you're saying, will the snow totals change in New York City, or could we expect what it's showing now? I think 15 inches is a fair assessment for New York City. Yeehaw, ride 'em, cowboy. Thanks for the cowboy hat, Regina. I haven't done that in a long time. Garden, I appreciate you. Below center New Jersey, total snow. All right, South Central. We'll go down here. 16 inches expected. 27 inches on the high end. That's over 2 feet. 2 feet, 3 inches. Yeah, New York City's... I mean, if 15 to 16 inches is good, then New York City's looking good. High end 2 inches almost into New York City. Oh, that's right. That's right, guys. We never did the intro. I'm probably not going to be on for much longer, but let's run the intro. Take it to the bank, cash it. I'm always right. I've never been wrong about anything in my entire life. Everything I've ever said has come true. That's right.
We look a lot at the moon.
There it is. They look at the moon for our winter forecast. Boston, 14 inches expected.
We've had 4 or 5
2 feet high end
this week. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Daddy needs some coffee.
For most people, the snow will last around 24 hours.
Bob donated $1,000 and says, Connor, you are the best weatherman, and you're very tall,
thanks, Bob.
Smart, and handsome.
Allie, thanks. Yeah, for most people, I will say 18 hours, but that's not 18 hours of heavy snow. Most people are going to see somewhere between 4 to 5 hours of heavy snow. 4 to 6 hours of heavy snow. And the other is going to be light to moderate. So let's take like Philly, for example. We start snowing potentially, around 11 a.m. tomorrow. Okay. And then let's see how long are we. Okay. We're not, we need to go. We need to push out a little bit further. Did the latest Euro start loading? No. Okay. So let's say we start snowing around. I mean, the Euro wants to say closer to like 4 in the afternoon. That's fine. 4 p.m. tomorrow. We'll just use that as a gauge. And then you could be seeing snow all the way through for the next day. So that's 24 hours of snow in Philly. Heaviest snow, we're talking, let's see, 9 p.m. Sunday, all the way until maybe, so the heaviest snow, moderate to heavier snow, we'll call it 6 to 9 hours. It's possible for some areas. 24 hours of snow, though. You know what I mean? Which is typical with storms up here. Once storms get up here, most storms in the Northeast move at about the same pace because they are moving based off of things like the Earth's rotation, what latitude they're at. They speed up as they get into a higher latitude. So usually your storm systems are about 24 hours of snowfall if they're like a well put together storm system like this. And it usually is, somewhere in that 6 to 9. We'll call even sometimes 12 hours of heavy snow and then 12 hours and then another 12 hours light to moderate. $2 super chat from Kev, 20 miles north of Trenton, New Jersey, snow totals. Yes, sir. Let's see. Let's take a look. Over a foot expected, 20 inches on the high end. It's if you're a little bit northeast of Trenton, 14 inches expected, 2 feet high end. Impressive stuff. Northeast has been crazy this winter. As projected. As projected. All right. Let's see here. 1 second. Whoa. 1 second. Oh wait, I just opened the Microsoft store. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Fixing some stuff on my end. Okay. Let me see something here. Oh, we're gonna do a speed round so I can answer as many questions as possible. Let me just check something here real quick. Okay. What the heck, man? Okay, let's do it. Speed round. You guys ready? Now listen, I'm going to answer as many questions as I can from chat, from both chats. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. But if you live in a small county or small town or city that you think maybe I've never heard of, once again, don't ask for that. Try to give me like a quick reference, because when I'm doing speed round, I'm not going to look up places. So if you're like I said, if you're like, say, 30 miles to the northwest of Philly, I can kind of guess where you are on the map. If you're like in South Central New Jersey, but it's a small town, say South Central New Jersey. If you're not in Baltimore, but you're 20 miles to the northwest of Baltimore, you know what I mean? But it's a small town right now. Say that. Give me a reference, okay? All right, you guys ready? Ready to do the speed round? Okay, we're gonna look at this, but again, I'm gonna be looking at the National Weather Service forecast. I do have my own opinion. I think they've got it pretty good now. I think Maryland's gonna get more snow than they expect, but and if you have other questions, timing, that's fine. All right, speed round, initiate it.
Speed round initiating.
Oh, all right. Okay. Get your questions ready. And we're back. Newark, New Jersey. Yes, you guys are expected around 15 inches of snow, 2 feet on the high end. Oh my gosh, chat started to run. New Euro's late. Yes, it is late. Can this compare to the 2016 one? For some people, yes, it will. Any snow in the foreseeable future for the strip between Omaha and Des Moines? Okay, hold up. I'm going to answer that question. We're going. Back to the United States. I'm looking at this on a different screen. Let me look at the pattern here. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance. Yeah, there is. I mean, there's a chance this Wednesday. And also we have our polar jet collapsing a little bit more. There might be another chance next weekend as well. A chance. Yes, there is. There is actually. Do you think New York City is done with snow after this? Every time I've been asked that over the last couple months, I've said no. We still have a nor'easter chance. I've continued to say no, and I've continued to be right. And I've used up all of my being right powers, I think. So this time I'm going to say, well, no, New York City's not done with snow. I think this is New York City's, or the Mid-Atlantic's last big snowstorm of the season. I think the Mid-Atlantic, coastal New England, could pick up another 6 to 12 inches in March. I do. I think this is, but not in like one storm. I think this is the last big storm. I think you're going to pick up a little bit more snow this winter, though. March looks a little cold for you guys. All right. Is Kentucky getting snow? No. Well, not in the short to midterm. There's going to be a big collapse of our polar jet in March, though, because of our stratospheric polar vortex split we just had. It's on the way. $2 super chat from Santino. Could this be one of the biggest New Jersey blizzards? Someone in New Jersey, I think, is going to end up with over 2 feet of snow. It's going to be a top 3 blizzard for New Jersey. It's possible it breaks the all-time record. I don't expect it to break the all-time record. I think there's going to be the possibility, though, of maybe like a local area breaking their all-time record. Not like there's probably going to be some record. Yeah. Top 3, I think, is on the table here. How much for 10 miles east of Baltimore? All right, 10 miles east of Baltimore. Let's take a look out here. So, okay, well, we're gonna assume out here right for now. Hello. We're gonna assume out here for now. 5 inches expected, 18 inches high end. I actually 10 miles east of Baltimore. If we're out here, I'd expect you to get closer right now to 7 to 8 inches of snow. I think they're underdoing you. I think it's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of cold air aloft. I hope I'm not wrong. I don't want to promise you more snow than you're gonna get. I will tell you this: the National Weather Service expects 5 to 6 inches in this area. I think you could get a little bit more. North New Jersey. We're talking about anywhere between this entire area in North New Jersey. We're talking about 10 to 15 inches. 10 to 15 inches. The further south and east you go in North New Jersey, the higher the snow totals are going to be. You're going to get closer to that quote-unquote eye of the nor'easter, snowicane, as people say. 30 miles northeast of Baltimore. Look, everyone's learning. I love this. Yes, we're getting up here towards northeastern Maryland. We're talking about 7 inches expected, 19 inches high end. I'd push you up to 9 inches to 10 inches expected, 21 inches on the high end. In my opinion, totals will be a little bit higher in that area. But if you want the National Weather Service's opinion, 7 inches expected, 19 inches on the high end. If you get some good, if snow starts accumulating quickly and you get some good banding with this. Chance of New York City getting 2 feet. 10 to 15% chance. I think I think getting over a foot is like a 75% chance to get over a foot, 80% chance to get over a foot of snow. Pushing higher than that starts to go down. GG, I appreciate you. No problem, Carter. 15 miles, DOEN, Boston high ends. 50 miles, was that south or north or west or Evans, hurry up. Correct what you asked. 50 miles. That wasn't a word in the English language. I didn't know. But up here towards Boston, expected 13 inches. High end, almost 2 feet of snow. South. Okay, 15 miles south of Boston. Well, that's going to be about the same. 16 inches of snow expected. Almost 27 inches on the high end. Yeah, I think that's fair. I wouldn't really change much. Chicago, over the next 72 hours, you guys are expected to get about a half inch of snow. You could get up to 2 inches if you get lucky. How much for Philly? Yeah, Philly's been trending up. A lot of that has to do with the latest HRRR. A foot is expected into Philly, maybe even 13 inches with 2 feet on the high end. I'll say that's fair for Philly. Perfect. Atlantic City. Ooh, Atlantic City. Where are you? I know where you are. There you are. 15 inches expected, 25 inches on the high end, 2 feet on the high end. I will tell you, you're probably not going to have an even foot to 2 feet of snow anywhere out here in New Jersey. Why? Because you're going to have 50, 55, 60 plus mile per hour gusts. And you're going to end up with snowbanks with 5 feet of snow. And then you're going to end up with areas with like 6 inches of snow because it's going to be blowing snow. It's going to be really weird, but there's going to be a ton of snow. But you could end up with like just big piles that are blown into corners. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be when blizzards. It's really weird. It's really hard to measure snow in blizzards. You have to measure it like behind a wall that's not being affected by the snow, by the winds. But it's going to be a ton of snow. New Haven, Connecticut. Expected 13 inches, high end 19 inches. I'm fine with that. Yeah. 10 miles north of Tom's River. 10 miles north of Tom's River. Yeah, this whole area. Expected 20 inches. I'm guessing your high end up here is going to be something like, over 2 feet of snow. Yeah. Let's see here. I live on a hill. Will snow blow lower? Sometimes that happens. If you're in an area where there's a ton of snow, you're still gonna have a ton of snow on the ground. But yeah, snow will blow a lot of times to lower ground and up against walls, and you know what I mean. If you want a bunch of snow in front of your house after the first 5 hours of snowfall, just shovel all that snow into the corner that the wind's going to be blowing into, and then the snow will blow up against that, and it'll all pile up in front of your house. I did that in my house in Minneapolis a couple storms ago. I made a wall of snow, and then all the snow blew into the wall, and it all stayed in our front yard because I wanted it in our front yard. No snow for my neighbor. My snow. All right. How much for North Central Long Island? North Central Long Island, 16 inches expected, 20 inches on the high end. I think that's realistic. You're in a blizzard warning, by the way. You could see tropical storm and hurricane force gusts. It's possible. Audrey, $2 super chat over on YouTube. I appreciate you. Wait, Newark. Is there a Newark, Delaware? Is that what you meant to say, or was it? Hold up. I appreciate the super chat. I really do. Newark. Oh, there is a Newark, Delaware. Oh, right up there north. Oh, yeah. Oh, I knew that. Yeah, you guys are looking good up here. So let's take a look. So, I mean, you're going to be somewhere between here, Wilmington, and I don't think we have an actual, we don't have an actual dot we can use here. But let's take a look. 10 to 12 inches. So 10 inches to a foot is expected. 20 plus inches approaching 2 feet on the high end. It's pretty good. I think that's realistic. That's fine with me. Santino with the $5 super chat. Wait, it was NSSL. The M-Pass on Pivotal Weather shifted west and looks crazy. The M-Pass shifted. There's a few different M-Passes. I use the M-Pass RN here. But let's see. Which one was it? Was it the RN that just shifted west? I don't care about the HCPO. Let's take a look here. Really quickly. A trend west. I want to look at that real quick. I'm looking at it off screen, guys. 1 second. I'm going to keep answering questions. Let's take a look here. Okay, that M-Pass. And then let's go down to 12. And, the M-Pass shifted far west. The M-Pass is another good short-range model. The M-Pass shifted far west. Oh, that's kind of big news. I think the impasse is being... Oh, wow. Give me a second. I want to take a look at this. This is actually kind of somewhat significant. Let's take a look there. And then let me go back to the model before. I'm taking a look at this off screen. Okay, so there to... Here, I'll switch over so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Let's do a quick model comparison. Another shift west it would be significant in a short range, even if it's the impasse. Oh, there it is. There it is. New model, old. Okay, you guys can't see it here. Let me fix my screen. Now you should be able to. All right, there it is. Old model, old run, new run, old run, new run. Major shift to the west, 987 millibar down from 989. That's and this is a short range model. Shift to the west. It's pretty significant information there. Our snow totals might be trending up for everyone, which is good because I keep telling Maryland I think they're going to get more than the NWS expects. I like that from the impasse. Usher, Edna, Captain. I appreciate you guys. All right, let's get back to this. Whoa. All right, Boston. Yeah, about 14 inches expected, 2 feet on the high end. I should call my sister. I wonder if she knows this is happening. She's in Boston. She goes to this small school called Harvard. Have you ever heard of it? Yes, she's a genius, and I love her. I can never get in. New York City. New York City is looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. 15 inches is expected. Almost 2 feet on the high end. As I said, I'm okay with that. I agree with that from the National Weather Service. Scranton, PA. I actually do know where Scranton is, so that's good. 6 inches expected. 10 inches on the high end. I'm fine with that. You guys are right on that border where I think you guys could end up with like 3 inches just because we're going to be a lot drier out there. But the dry air is going to bring colder temperatures and a higher snow ratio. So I'm okay. I'd probably put expected at 5 inches. 5 and then high end to 10 inches. But I'm okay with that. Santino, $2 per jet. Euro AI shifted west. Oh, boy. Chat, this is big news. We got short ranges and the Euro AI shifting west. The Euro AI has been our best performing snow model this year. Not by a ton, but by a little bit. And let's take a look. Let's take a little look-see, why don't we? This is important news. Breaking news. Oh, yeah. The Euro AI just went from 7.5 inches into Philly up to 10 inches. I think the Euro AI is actually not putting enough snow in Philly, obviously, but that's fine. And the Euro AI just went from 5 inches in DC to 6. Just went from about 4.5 in Baltimore to almost 7. You see what's happening here. New York City from 10 to a foot. Now, obviously, the Euro AI is still on the lower end compared to the other models, but this is we're talking about a foot plus for everyone, really, from Delaware up through New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York City, up towards Boston. That's a significant shift west. What's going to happen with the Euro? The Euro is loading. Let me really quickly. How loaded are we? Not very. But what we can do, I can tell you if it's going to shift west. Let's see if we already have the 500 millibar vorticity loaded up in here. We do. Okay. This is good. Let's go to east. See if we can see. Let's see if we can see the shift here. Yeah, the Euro shifting west. The Euro looks like it's shifting west more than the Euro AI. You're tilting faster. Your trough is more amplified, and your winds are becoming more and more southwesterly instead of southwesterly. The Euro is shifting west. This is big news. This is more snow. This is an incredible trend. If we're talking about 16 hours away from snowfall, this is an incredible trend. And it's more amplified. We're going to get down into the 960s, I think, with our low pressure system. This is truly going to bomb out. It's going to be a nice bomb out. All right. Santino, thank you for the updates. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, let's get back over here. Get serious, everyone. Let's see if the National Weather Service is going to update this. I'm willing to bet the expected snow totals almost across the board update from the National Weather Service with the next update. I'm almost willing to bet all of these snow totals on the expected update, including the high ends. I am willing to bet. I'm willing to bet. My mortgage. My house. My kids. Just kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. We're just having fun. Captain Lucas, Usher, I appreciate you guys. All right, let me keep answering questions. Central West Virginia. Yeah, you guys are expected out here anywhere between 4 to, we'll call it 5 to 10 inches of snow. On the high end, you could probably see a lot more out there in Central West Virginia. Yeah, close to 14, 15 inches of snow. Philly flooded. You could get flooding after all the snow melts eventually, but this is going to be snow, not flooding. Philly done for? Yep. Philly's cooked. Chesapeake, Virginia. I'm just kidding, guys. But you are going to get a lot of snow. Chesapeake. Where's Chesapeake, Virginia? Hold up. This is one I feel like I should know where Chesapeake, Virginia is because I get asked a lot about it, but I can't find it. Fine. I'm going to do this, even though I shouldn't. Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Southeastern Virginia. Yeah, no. That's why I wasn't. Yeah. You guys aren't expected much. But let's take a look. Expected about a ½ inch. High end, 3 inches. Better than nothing. Right? Yeah, I keep refreshing this because I think that the National Weather Service is going to update this shortly. Let's see here. Mountain Creek Ski Resort. Where is that? If it's in the Poconos, you'll probably do good. Let's see here. Really, yeah. Or not the Catskills. What are these ones down here? No, the Catskills. Adirondacks, Catskills. I always flip those back and forth in my head. All right. Bucks County's looking pretty good. Lower Bucks is probably going to get more than Upper Bucks, but you're all looking like you're going to get over a foot of snow. And on the high end in Bucks, we could be talking something serious. Even up in northern Bucks, high end 20 inches, expected a foot. Baltimore, Maryland, again, your expected right now is around 4 inches of snow with the high end of 17. I expect that expected snow to go up. I think you're going to end up being closer to 7 inches plus on the expected. We'll see once this, and your high end could end up being much higher too. Maybe not much higher, but higher. 20 miles southwest of New York City. Let's go out here. 14 inches expected, almost 2 feet on the high end. Harrisburg, PA. Yeah, you guys are expected 4 inches, high end 9. I'm fine with that. High end 9 inches, yeah. Could Philly get a blizzard warning? Yes. Philly could get a blizzard warning. With the shift west we just saw, it is possible that we see blizzard warnings extend somewhat out like this, and we get winter storm warnings out here. We could see an extension. Blizzard warning in through this section right here, including Philly, and then possibly winter storm warnings stretching down here through north, central, eastern, and southeastern Maryland. We'll see. We will see. You guys want to see where our storm is right now? Let's go to the satellite. Here's our cold piece of energy. Our piece of energy to the north. Here's our piece of energy to the south. This is going to be compressing into this, tilting it, and this is going to run up the coast. Harry, I appreciate that $10 super chat. Seriously, really, really appreciate it. I'm confused. Why is the high end? Let me actually get back over to here real quick before I answer that. I'm confused. Why is the high end so high? Yeah, but we're only expecting 5 inches in Baltimore. Go Ravens. Because when you're on the edge of storms, when you're on the edge of these systems, that's where the cutoff is. And a wobble 10 miles to the west puts your snow totals up by 6 inches. A wobble 10 miles to the could put your snow totals up by 10 inches. A wobble a little bit to the 10 miles to the east could put your snow totals down by 10 inches. So we're seeing the low, and I'll show you actually. This is. Let me actually quickly run through this on the. Let me actually refresh the euro. Where are we at on the euro? Oh yeah. Okay. I'll explain this to you here. Let me show you the euro. Let me show you in the euro. I'll explain that to you actually. Here you go. Latest euro. Let's look at the last one. Yeah, significant. I would say I would call this somewhat significant at this range. Significant westerly shift by the euro. Wow. and a deeper low. Wow. Baltimore, you're going to get more. You should not say 5 inches expected. As I've been saying, and I said it before I saw any of these model updates. They just happened to confirm what I'm saying. I would put your expected closer to 8 inches, not 5 inches. And this latest model run confirms that. Okay, let's go to the HRRR real quick, and I want to explain this when you're near the cutoff here. Okay, so let's go 12Z. Here, I don't even need to. All right, Mid-Atlantic. So here we go. Here's the bulk of our snow. Now, some models have this. This area is going to see, again, 6 to 9 hours of heavy snow regardless of what happens, because all this snow up here, this is going to begin accumulating immediately. This is where the heaviest snowfall rates are. You're going to, your surface temperatures, when you're on the outskirts of this storm here, here's your low pressure system. We're much colder to the north and east here. Out to the west, we're still a little bit warm. It's going to take a little bit longer for snow to start accumulating out to the west, and the snowfall rates are going to be a little bit lower. Now, once it gets going, you could see 1 inch to 1.5 inch hour rates out here from DC to Baltimore. It's completely possible. It's just the coldest air, surface, and aloft is going to be out ahead to the northwest of this storm. And sitting out here a little bit south of that, you're going to get a delay in precipitation. You're going to get, your surface temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer. You're going to get a delay in accumulation. And if this moves like this to here in the next model update, this could all end up being just, everything out here could end up being a 1/2 inch an hour rate snow, not 1.5 inch hour rate snow. And suddenly, instead of getting 1.5 inches of precipitable water, you get a 1/2 inch of precipitable water, and you go from getting a foot of snow to 2 inches of snow. These areas in here aren't going to have as drastic a difference between the high end and low end, because you're going to be fine. You're going to be freezing for the most part when it starts snowing heavy. When it starts snowing heavy aloft and at the surface, you're not going to have a delay in precipitable snow, precipitable water, precipitable snow, and accumulation. The delay is going to happen in Maryland, and any shift east and west can really drastically change that delay. $2 super chat from ProDaddy Gamer 8414. How much snow can southern central Long Island see? South central Long Island right now is being projected, is expected to see 19 inches of snow. High end, we're talking about 2 feet. Again, you see how that high end and expected isn't much of a difference there. It's 3 inch difference because you're all snow. You're all snow. There's no lag. You're all snow. But we've got rain in the beginning in Maryland. We've got some warm surface temperatures. So there's a lag, and any sort of shift east of this system is gonna make it take longer and longer for the snow to pile up. But we just had a shift west, which is pretty good for you guys. For at least getting heavier snowfall rates. It's not going to really change the surface temperatures, but heavier snowfall rates, your air is cold enough aloft, you'll get quicker accumulation on the surface. Wow, I can't believe we just had another shift east by the Euro. Let's take a look at the latest Euro snow totals. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's not all the way loaded through, so but we'll start to see what they're going to see down here. Kuchera. Okay, let's compare this, and it's still snowing up to the north there, so don't look at the northern snow totals. Here you go. This is the last run of the Euro. This is the last run of the Euro. This is the new run. Last run of the Euro, 5.5 inches into Philly. New run of the Euro, and the storm's on our doorstep. Oh my God, I almost just choked. Doorstep. A foot into Philly. Okay, Baltimore. Last run of the Euro, 2.5 inches. New run, 6.5 inches. DC, last run of the Euro, 3 inches. This run of the Euro, 6 inches. I told you guys. We're trending up. We're trending up. This is great. Great news. Great news. Here you go. Let's actually go total. Okay, check this out. Wow. Yep. Euro still likes a foot into Philly. I think we definitely could get more than that. 15 inches across Long Island. Again, NWS actually expects more than that because it's looking at the blend of the models. Pretty good for snow out there in Maryland. Delaware, looking really good. Looking real nice. It's a good update. That's a good update from the models. Okay. All right, how long have I been streaming here? All right, I have to get off soon. Yeah, in New York City. Yeah, the latest New York City. Okay, let's take a look at the latest national blend. Let's take a look at the latest national blend with some of these updates. The latest national blend has 22 inches. This is a blend of all the models. So let's see. Latest national blend has almost 2 feet of snow in New York City, 25 inches on 25 inches across Long Island. Obviously, New Jersey is doing crazy things. Almost 2 feet across New Jersey, 19 inches into Philly, 15 inches into Baltimore. I think this is a little aggressive, but the national blend is supposed to be our conservative model, and it's getting insane. 10 inches in DC. Again, maybe a little bit aggressive. The national blend's going crazy. You can see what's happening up there in Boston as well. 24 inches just to the south of Boston, 30 inches. Timing for New Jersey, you're going to start seeing snow tomorrow, late tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon, and the heaviest snow is probably going to be tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, and then it gets lighter and more moderate as you get into Monday morning. It'll still be snowing all the way, maybe even to 12 o'clock. $2 for chat from Tanner. Any more chances for North Georgia snow? Maybe. Again, we have a stratospheric polar vortex split right now, and that's going to collapse a lot more snow, or a lot more cold air, probably somewhere into the second week of March has been my estimation for quite a while. And I've been saying I have a weird feeling there's going to be some sort of southern snow in March. We haven't gotten in a while. Erica, I appreciate you. Jackal Draco, I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Leah, appreciate you. How much snow do you think Baltimore will get? I mean, my best guess would be between 7 and 9 inches right now, but I do understand that there's a high end. That there's a high end possibility for everyone. You could end up getting much more, but I have to be like somewhat honest with the what's the most likely outcome. All right. Let me take a look here. Did we get any more updates? The National Weather Service is going to update this soon. Okay. Listen, guys, I'm going to get on and I'm going to stream later tonight, and which will be even better because we're going to be like 8 hours away from Snowfall. Our models they're not going to know exactly what's going to happen. Snowfall totals are extremely hard to project. You get dry slots. You get little wobbles at the last second that move the border of snow. But we'll have a very good idea of what you should expect. We already have a pretty good idea of what you should expect. Tonight, I expect me to get on around 8, 9 p.m. tonight. Do a nice long stream. And, yeah. So if you want to join later. I also uploaded a video this morning going over all of this, all the snow totals. Now, in my video this morning, did the NWS have this updated? I think they did. So if you want to see, I go over all this stuff in the video this morning, but I will be on later. I appreciate all you. Appreciate anyone who gifted, anyone who super chatted, anyone who followed, anyone who subbed. I try to live stream every single day. I try and post videos every day. I have another job. Hopefully I can do this full time. The goal is to do this full time, but got to keep building my channel up. So I appreciate all the support, even just being in here, talking with me, helping the algorithm. I appreciate you guys. Mods, you're awesome. I will see all of you later on. Don't worry, I'll be back on later. We're going to talk. We're going to discuss everything. Try to answer as many questions as I can. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question on one person. I'm trying my best. You guys are awesome. Enjoy your Saturday, and let's get into the details later because we'll have some pretty good information because we're going to be right ahead of the snowstorm later. All right, see you guys.